morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Lord Brown Bear, Tenwin, Moatra, and of course, a big happy birthday to Tenwin. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. You will not believe how much I was tempted to play the Surge again. Good God, Tenwin, you have already made things a lot harder. This game has amazing story, amazing world building. The Surge is just fucking great gameplay. I saw Tenwin. I saw. Maybe a jerk, but even I can remember a birthday. Yeah. But thank you all for being here. We're just going to dive right into Disco Elysium. As much as I do want to play the Surge, I also want to play Disco Elysium. So I want us to keep going. I did do some grinding off screen at the Surge, though. I got a bunch of stuff upgraded to the second tier so that everything's pretty equal, so we can try out some additional weapons and armor and stuff if we want to in the future. And farmed a bunch of... I got the Spaceman's gear. Oh, no, not main menu. Here we are. All right, we talked to the man on the balcony. He pointed us to the hidden key, which should allow us now to get inside of the apartment building. You can grind a Disco Elysium? What's that look like? Just annoying the crap out of Kim? Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of one another. Major Tom to ground control. I'm pretty sure it's Major Tom, not Mayor Tom, but yeah. Boxes filled with cleaning chemicals, smelling of laundry detergent. Hey! Flip up glasses. +1 to logic, -1 to authority. Let's take a look here. Balancing the books. Filthy boho, probably a narcomaniac. These flip-up sunglasses were fashionable in the old, but have since lost their popularity. Their thin, gold alloy wire frames are a reminder of drug-addled bohemian artists. These days, the glasses are only favored by organized crime accountants who desire to look cool. Okay. Why am I lagging? Again. God damn it. I really thought I'd fucking solve the problem with this, but apparently not. I'm gonna have to look up some stuff. Maybe other people have had issues with Disco Elysium and VTube Studio. Maybe that's what's causing it. An old shoe rack, boots, sneakers, and old slippers. These shoes come in 3 different sizes. Apartment 12. A loud rumbling snore comes from within. Oh. Shower curtains are covered in some kind of slime. Somebody hid magnesium and Commodore Red. Alcohol. Now remember, we are going for a full-blown no drug run if we can. Why is it saying I picked something up? Oh, okay. Large crimson bottle made of cheap sugary wine, made of poverty, sugar, artificial taste enhancers, and a vague memory of grapes, guaranteed to color your lips. Oh, nope, that goes downstairs. So then what else is over here? Someone has drawn a 5-pointed star on the wall. Hey, some money.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise.
Okay. I'm guessing this is basically the tutorial for you should know when to use your tools. Alright, well, that'll work.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number.
I mean, it's not a guarantee.
The shackle
good.
Snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
After you, detective.
Alright, what's in here? Hello? A 9mm bullet and a Saramirizian lounge jacket. Classic white summer jacket loved by both the Samarisian Communist Party and the accompanying subtropical drug traffickers. It fits you well, regardless of your political ambitions. Conceptualization, summer plans. What does that look like? Alright, it's just a white jacket. So then, okay, so in this universe, instead of red being associated with communism, it's white that's associated with communism. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. Photos of revolutionaries posing with firearms. A buoyant poster of a white star, real lithography. And what is this?
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads, Krasmazov.
Why does a tenant like this have a bust of Krasmazov in their room?
The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
Oh, what's that? Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. Yeah, they do. On both sides. Hey, money. I'll take it.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
That was not the line that was played, but okay. This time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands a female voice, wary and tense. This is the police. Open up.
Do I have to open the door?
You hear the clacking of heels again as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting a
Do
defensive.
you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
All right. You're right, Kim. Hey, postcard, Boogie Street, 46. The crumpled up postcard depicts an open-air market on Boogie Street 5 years ago. A vendor smiles as dead roosters line his stalls, hung by their feet from the canopy. Red blood flows onto the muddy street. Blurry shadows of people pass. Okay. Door of number 9 is locked. More money. Thank you.
Give me a moment.
An elderly woman is leaning on her broom. Her knuckles are white as bone, and she seems to have difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
The white color is slightly less oppressive, and it kind of makes it look clean, but it isn't much. Yeah. I imagine it's also a little bit easier to hide. I mean, white sheets, white, it's not that hard. Admittedly, when you go around plastering the 5-pointed star, which is apparently this universe's symbol for communism, all over everything, probably doesn't cover it up very well. This won't take long. I just have a few questions.
Go ahead, then. What do you want to know, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
And you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room.
She spits on the floor before wiping it off with
It's
the broom.
barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery.
I'm looking for a Martin Martinez.
Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry.
She smiles, a gap-toothed smile, when she hears you mention the name. What do you mean? I wasn't joking.
Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martin Martinez is a name for anyone who comes from Martinez, like Jim Jamrock or Raoul Revachol.
Oops, you really didn't get the joke there.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
How about a young male, mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, smoker on the balcony? Do you know what apartment he's from?
Yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
He looks at the other end of the hallway.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble. Just wanting to talk to him. Do you know what apartment he's in?
Talk?
The cleaning lady starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes her broom, trying to catch her
He lives
breath.
upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
I've got a few questions about the apartment.
Ask away, policeman.
Who's in apartment 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there.
She pauses, eyeing the hallway.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
Sure, I'll go see what I can find.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
And who lives behind the padlocked door?
Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar.
Suddenly, the old lady's face is beaming.
I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology.
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
You mean the star and antler? I think that's the symbol of communism.
The symbol of what and how?
Communism in the world revolution, the ones who support the working class against the capital. It's an ideology, it has some noble aims, but it's also been used to justify terrible bloodshed. It's for loons who have no idea how the economy works. It's a symbol for contributing to the demise of the noble state in the name of some made-up equality. Communism, it's a political ideology. We could go full boring cop, but yeah, no, 4 or 3, like, I can at least acknowledge there are some people out there who genuinely believe that it's a good idea. It usually isn't, and they're usually the first people who get lined up against the wall by the people who just want to use it to seize power, but that's neither here nor there. It's for loons who have no idea how economies work.
Economy? Why should anyone care about economy?
What can you tell me about Cindy the Skull out on the balcony?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
Any extremist ideology does that, hence why one of the choices was basically to say that, yeah, extremists always seem to hijack it regardless.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Thank you. I'm off. Graffito says, a firing squad for the rich. Their mailbox is overflowing. All right. Well, now we can knock on the door again, and they have to look.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here?
Excuse me? Of course not.
I don't need a warrant if I suspect that there's been a break-in.
Oh, come on.
There's a pause, but then you hear the door being
That was
unlocked.
smart.
The lieutenant nods, says, nodding towards the unlocked door. All right, what's going on in here? Oh, you are... Your nose is about as red as mine is. I think you need to lay off the sauce, lady.
Satisfied?
Ah!
My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The
I need
keys, see?
Need to move slightly out of the way. There we go. God, that portrait.
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20 at least.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
She fumbles through her purse, fishing out a light, paper-clad passport.
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Well, everything seems to be in order. My apologies.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
What are you doing in here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Who lived here?
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
She stops, hesitating.
A sudden serious look crosses her face. This story didn't have a happy ending.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
I glimpsed a foreclosed apartment just down the hallway. What's going on
Oh,
with that?
that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall.
Oh.
A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny.
Yeah. Couldn't have been that much. Not really a complaint, but these apartments look a little shabby.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable.
Yeah, until you reclassify them as quote-unquote luxury apartments, right? And then you charge triple the cost and haven't changed a goddamn thing, right?
I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
Yeah, well, my money's also disappeared.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it.
So what happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
She's still shaking her head. Manicured hands crossed over her chest. Well, thank you. That's all.
Of course.
Yep. She replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you to leave. We have a blister pack of medicine peeks out of the box. Oh, okay. Yeah, hypnogamma. Very nice. Looks like a fine mattress. Hey, +1 to indirect modes of taxation. I have... What? Okay, so that must be something we don't have, I guess. Maybe it's one of the... it's probably something from the thought cabinet, isn't it? I'd have to go looking through all of this to find it, but yeah, it's probably from that. These Per and Ingersoll shoes have no lacing, but a strap and a buckle. Due to their elegant and affluent design, they've been described as the most advanced dress shoe. So advanced, in fact, that walking through slush and mud does not leave a single trace on them. Something from the thought cabinet. No, that's a completely different concept, Tenwin, and you know it. If I have to deal with someone with that face, I don't think it's worth it. All right, lady. It was all good. Everything's above board. I didn't find any counterculture people. It was just a real estate agent setting up the room for new tenants.
I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them.
Radio computer wizards, they're going to save this place and the economy. I'm sure everything will be fine. This apartment building needs slow change, imperceptibly slow. Lacks women and sexual deviance. No one is coming. There will be nothing but squalor unless we start killing real estate agents. Jesus Christ. So we have boring. We have authoritarian / fascist. We have liberal, and we have communist. Great. I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice in the fucking matter. Jesus. Well, supposedly there's going to be radio computer wizards in the area. I guess they're going to help save this place and the economy.
Oh, I do like wizards. And people like that in general. They have a lot to tell us about our fates.
She means clairvoyance.
Well, that's not what I meant, but I'm glad it made you feel better.
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way.
I like wizards, ordinary wizards. Not fond of them when they're grand, you know?
Ride.
Yeah, I mean, I ride a little.
You make money. You got gills, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer.
Why did this become a motivational speech? If it's anything like the last time we had one of these, this is one of our skills about to try and convince us to follow a specific ideology. Well, I guess I've made some guilds, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
There's a market for corrupt cops out there, but the immigrant cops have price dumped it. What the fuck? Fucking taxes. The system is broken. It's because of that Gart guy riding my ass. I don't know. Why am I so poor aside from the drugs and alcohol?
Because of the taxes.
Yeah, of course.
G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Really? Even when I sneeze?
Every time you wipe your ass, they got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now. Are you sure? That seems like a really big number. This isn't helping me solve my money problems. It's only making me into a free market type. Are you sure? That seems like a really big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Same response. Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain, but how will deregulation help with that? Opt in, but only a little. The Andrew Ryan path. I don't know. Maybe it'll help a little bit. We do still need money. We have to pay Gart like 140 fucking real. We don't have anywhere near that.
It's all about the tax issue.
Oh, there it is.
Hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Okay, so that gives me access to the thought. It doesn't force me to take it. And plus we do have another... We've already used up our 3 thoughts, unfortunately. We lose 2 empathy for 1 hour and 45 minutes. And I'm not sure if I even want to get that yet. So we're just going to ignore that for now. Thank you for that, brain. Doesn't really help, but thank you. Foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Yeah, dude fucking broke the wall down. Ooh.
The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
Rub your sides
A
for
former
warmth.
architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius.
Is a man not entitled to the sweat off his brow? Ignoring the fact that Andrew Ryan got rich by luck, digging up oil on his land. Yeah. Her face.
It's red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
Wow.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
Look around.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a 3-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty.
See below is cold and winter gray. Someone tore down the wall. Yeah, I can see that. Oh. Hey, Nosafed and some money. Old grocery list on the table and checks. Okay, so we've got the balcony out there, which is where Cindy is. looked at all this. Oh, what?
That isn't just a
Oh,
five-pointed
now it wants to
star.
go off.
It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers, the iconography of communism, in other words.
Oh, look out, Kim. There are communists around.
I'll keep my armistice handy, detective.
He doesn't actually reach for his gun.
Look at the
The
symbol.
star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mezov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure.
Why is the star upside down?
To symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it.
Why the word communards? My thought goes to a slur, but I doubt it. I think it's just to differentiate this universe from the other. Because it might also be a case of, where was it? Yeah, because our character does call them communists. So it might be a case where communist became the slur, and so the people who practice communism prefer to call themselves communards. Probably a anagram or an amalgamation of communist and comrade. So communard, like, I don't know. There's probably a pronunciation issue there or something. Regardless, it sounds like it's a case where communist is used by those who are against it. Communard is used by those who actually advocate for it. What's the deal with the antlers?
The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it, because white is the color of peace.
White is the color of peace, which is why we will institute our reign of peace by killing everyone who doesn't agree with us. Yeah, we've seen this song and dance before. What does it evoke in me?
Smug superiority, aesthetic musings. The triumph of capital is undeniable, but maybe the guns were sort of cool. Revolutionaries had loads of guns.
But there is... Wait, is that where we came? No, that's where we came in. So then there's this balcony and the other one. Oh. Breaker box is full of cigarette butts and electrical wires. Some coins. What was that? Hey, more coins. I'll take it. Just a door, nothing for you here right now. Nope, it's locked. Go up the stairs, please. Growing rosemary, thyme, and a cactus. I don't think the cactus is going to do very well in the snow. This is the door to apartment 29. Complete silence. Whoever lives here isn't home. This is the door to apartment 30. Voices from within singing along to some buoyant dance track. Pretty sure this was the door we saw the guy go in.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening.
He looks around, taking in the cold spring
We should
air.
return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
Good. Tomorrow, 2100.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m.
Hey,
right here.
welcome,
Apartment
bot.
number
Hello,
28.
bot. Thank you for boosting
Good,
our
let's go.
algorithm, everything. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. There's the door. Goodbye.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today.
So nothing else we can do here then. Doesn't look like we can access anything else up here either. Alright, let's go check out Cindy the Skull's side of the building. Come on, all the way around. All the way around. Open the door. There we go. Okay. Sup, Cindy? You gonna yell at me again while I'm up here?
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are.
What can I say? We don't like closed doors or unreachable perches or people having the high ground on us.
Yeah, you got me now. The dynamic between us has completely changed.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Is that oil?
Red dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
He says, studying the contents of the
What
bucket.
did he think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
Fumes are bad for you, kid.
Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage.
Yeah, okay. See you later, Cindy. Crazy bitch. Door's locked. Can't get in. The chair's new. Someone lives back here. Oh. Above tarp flaps in the wind, forgotten hammers and nails rust. Yeah, someone was definitely trying to, like, rebuild the entirety of the outside of this building, but it looks like they just gave up. And where does this go? Ah, this must be where the old lady stays. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Cindy? No, it's the old lady. She even said she stays up here. Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Oh, pour la home labor jeans. +1 to electrochemistry. Good ass. -1 to reaction speed. Hindsighted. Though these jeans look worn, the wearer must have had an ass given to them by the mighty Lord himself. That beautiful peach-shaped man ass has imprinted itself so deep in the fabric, you cannot help but wonder if wearing them would start molding your own vague rear side into a more shapely form as well. I love the descriptions of this game. Hey, more money. Yee. Doesn't look like there's anything else in here. So I think that's the entirety of the apartment building that we've explored. Let's get out of here. Should we go try getting the body down? I know we need hand-eye coordination for it is the problem. Do I want to hold out for another point? Can we... What can we solve right now? Oh, read the ledger and name the case. That's a good idea, actually. We can do that.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
How's the white
They're not
papers?
exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
All right, what's in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Cindy the Skull is an apt name. Bitch got a forehead like she got 4 heads.
What do you mean? Is that all?
Kim, is 2 cases a week a good caseload?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant, and I'm not sure I completed them, though.
That's a lot. This kind of caseload would explain your solved cases tally on the watermark. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
Oh, no. Trust me, Kim. I'm sure I burned out all right.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
He nods, turning to his own case files.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard, Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Okay, there was mention of a naming convention.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop show staples.
Oh, and they're written in capital letters, too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
So we were a homicide detective.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Well, we have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Use the pen Lena gave.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
That's the ones you've already
A
said.
satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Hey, Kim, you have any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man, The Furies Are at Home in the Mirror, The Setting Sun, Shit on a Stick. I don't have one. I mean, they gave us that quote at the beginning, so I feel like we gotta. The Furies Are at Home in the Mirror.
Furies. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also,
It's obvious he doesn't like it.
could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
Yes, you know what that normal name is, but it's so plain. Anything else, please.
Oh, be quiet, conceptualization. Half the time you don't even make any sense. It's okay. Kim was getting us here on the first place. We were the ones dicking around for 3 days and losing our memory. He can name the case. The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man.
Sweet. Plus 30.
It's good we sorted this out.
Kim, all the rest of my cases employ a naming convention similar to what we used on ours.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system, in addition to the official alphanumeric.
I think that's the first time we've heard Kim excited. I mean, he got to name the case. It's a big deal. Why is
It's
that?
a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
Well, I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murder.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
A little bit of dark humor amongst the force, basically, to deal with all the shit they have to see every day.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Shit. Well, I'm done inspecting these.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
We can try this. Yeah, it's a white check. Can I read the case files now?
It's proving
Nope.
to be harder than
That can help.
expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together.
We missed it
Try
by
again
1.
later.
Fuck. Son of a bitch. All right. What about the yellow papers?
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
And what types of forms are these?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Okay, misconduct.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
Station call.
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
And field autopsy. Pretty
A dozen
explanatory
pages
there.
of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Okay.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Okay, that's all we can do for that. I think... Oh, we did take visual calculus last time, so we should be able to go finish up the ones that we found. Gotta go back around. Up this way. No. What? They were... Ah! Book is titled Man from Heimdall in the Wildfire, and I couldn't read the other one because it decided to fucking pop up at the exact same time that that one did. Fuck. So I think this was one of the visual calculus ones, right?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
I bet this is related to the one that... A bit jarring for... For what? Is that supposed to be... Wait, what? I don't know what was... The narrator. Oh, okay. Don't know why I decided to fucking... to fucking censor half your word. Mr. Thesaurus. Oh, okay. Okay. Why did it... I'm trying to figure out why in the hell it decided to censor the first half of Thesaurus. That doesn't make any... What the hell? I have no idea what Twitch was doing with that, Moatra. All right, let's try this one again. Come on, 58%.
The tire tracks
There we
were left
go.
here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message written in the language of burnt rubber.
Oh, I bet this is related to the car that we... The other visual calculus check we had where the guy ramped off the roof. Tire tracks are left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message written in the language.
Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A. The driver started there and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager.
Okay, so this was originally closed off.
The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building. Before heading south, must have been in a hurry.
So a car drove through the fence.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city.
Somehow that makes you feel scared. You don't know why.
Do you think this is connected to the case?
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam right here on the roundabout, I would keep them separate.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went. If you find the time.
This is the point of departure for the vehicle that crashed into the butter sign.
That's plausible. A similar reckless abandon seems to be in evidence.
Okay. Then there was... Okay, we're not dealing with Kuno just right now. And there's this one.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work
Can we get
boots.
lucky again?
Anywhere from 6, maybe more
Yes!
than 12. No. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud.
Go over them one by one.
1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43. 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46?
Which?
You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must have preserved them. 5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace, same make of boot, but number 41.
Male? Maybe female?
Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped.
Pretty good at this.
You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it.
So
in a
bro was
strange,
old
beautiful
school
way.
Southledge. That is nasty. The hell did he do? Well, that's our job. Congratulations, Lord Brown Bear. You have uncovered the central premise for why we are here.
7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. 8. And yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
How many?
The lieutenant's been tracking your eye movements. 8.
I was pretty off then. I counted 20.
Nah, it's the same guys going back and forth.
I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary?
He points to his glasses. Light step, number
A
41.
woman? Or a kid?
Could be a woman.
Okay. How do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
I don't.
Understood. Anything else?
I mean, the Lynchy doesn't need to be guilty of what they're accused of. The crowd needs to at least be convinced he did something. Yes, Brown Bear does have a point. He may not have actually done anything, but the people have to be convinced that he did do something. And given the fact that he's wearing what appears to be some kind of armor, I highly doubt it was just a case of him walking around town. Heavy one, 200 kilogram imprint over there.
200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
No, Tenwin, let's be fair. It's not that they rarely needed a reason, it's just that their definition of reason was batshit crazy and stupid. There's a difference. One is just good old-fashioned people acting like assholes. The other is actual maliciousness.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Could have been an extremely obese person. One of them was carrying him over.
Possibly, yes.
Another aberration. One soul is smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the old soul.
Any other ideas, Lieutenant?
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
You think one of the people we're looking for is a drummer?
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should
Good
keep
idea.
our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
Yes, prudent.
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant writes the information down in his notebook, then reverts to the tracks in the mud. How old do you think these
A
tracks
week,
are?
maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Revachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
And what do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree.
I had to let that one through because Twitch did not like your combination of words regarding assault and woman, Lord Brownbear. It's actually said that one of the reasons lynching was so common in the South is because there were claims that there was an entire epidemic of black men assaulting white women. No proof, of course, yep, but I want to emphasize that there was a motive behind the lynchings, even if there was no evidence. No. In this regard, Brownbear, I will at least accept it because we are talking about what looks very well to be a lynching in the classical sense in the game. Yeah. It's not just what you're basically saying, and I think Tenwin can at least, I think we can all understand. People have their reasons. People don't just randomly kill someone. From the outside, it can look like random killings. But when you actually sit down and talk to these people, they will have reasons. The reasons, more than likely, are total bullshit with no proof. But they are reasons. To try and claim that people do it just out of nowhere is, well, quite frankly, in terms of trying to analyze how these things happen, it doesn't help. Trying to claim, oh, it's hysteria, or oh, it's just random. Like, that doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help people analyzing the event afterwards, and it doesn't help people in the moment trying to figure out why things are happening. There's something about human nature where random acts of violence just feel better if you have a reason to point to for doing it, no matter how BS it is. Oh, absolutely. It's the cognitive dissonance. There are very few human beings who can just flip a switch and kill someone. They have to have some kind of rationale in their brain as to why they are doing this. There are very, very few people, almost all of them psychopaths, who can just flip a switch and kill somebody. Hell, even the, I can't remember what it's called. There's the psychological experiment where they literally had an actor pretend to be electrical shocked to see if someone telling the participant to just increase the voltage and saying, oh, don't worry, it's for this reason, or oh, don't worry, I'm an expert, you can go ahead and do this, it's not going to cause you permanent harm, to see if people would just follow authority. Sometimes it's as little as that. All it takes is someone in an authority position saying, no, don't worry, it's totally fine. And people will be willing to do things that otherwise they wouldn't think to do. It's an unfortunate, it's a horrifying fucking aspect of our reality, unfortunately. I can't remember what the name of the experiment is called, unfortunately. It's not the Milgram experiment. The Milgram experiment is the one in the prison, which had a similar dealing with the way authority interacts with those beneath them kind of style, but it was a different experiment. Not that name. But it was centered around a person being told to flip a switch to electrocute a person. That person's not actually being electrocuted. It's an actor who's meant to act like they're being electrocuted and to get even more and more desperate and more acting in pain every time the person increases it to see how far people could be pushed by just having another person in the room with quote-unquote authority saying, no, don't worry, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. It's fine. And I think that, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was a disturbing majority of people are willing to just go along with it when an authority figure says, just do it. What do you think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree.
Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
I think that's all we can determine from this. I guess we can ask Gart real fast. We do have some time. It's almost 5 o'clock in universe, so we've got to... I know the game world does change when you get late enough in the day, so we need to be careful. Oh, yeah, there's already people here. Who are you? No, go over here. It's all about money, you know? Okay, you're just a random person. Oh, the kitchen is open. Dishes are drying. There's a smell of chemicals and pine trees. The aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomatoes hangs in the air. Hey, look, a little bit of change. There's
You
a door.
see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
There's a reason why people hiding refugees in the 40s was a rarity. There's always that dumb claim, if I was alive in X crisis, I would do Y, which is extremely unlikely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, people also often use it whenever they look back at the past and go, oh my God, how could people, even just 100 years ago, how could they be so X or so Y? And it's like, you have to take into account the cultural context of these people being raised in these times. If you don't do that, and you claim, well, if I was back then, I would have done Z. It's like, no, because you would have grown up in those exact same cultural conditions. And unless you are an extremely, like, minority of that people, you would have had very similar, if not identical, thoughts regarding various situations in the world. That's just how it is. That's just how humans are built.
You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe.
Try to push on the door.
The door does not budge.
Wonder where this leads.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
Part of the whirling of rags. There's something about this place that makes me want to know.
Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation.
Yeah, a mini side investigation.
Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Good thing we're here to talk to him then.
Can I help you?
Here's the trash container key.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
I found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Could someone on the staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Who else has keys to the trash container then?
The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road.
Okay, as you can see, I've gotten the 3-minute ads working. So I'm going to take a quick break, run to the restroom real fast, and I'll just leave this up on screen. We'll continue in a moment once the ad is done playing. All right, guys? Be right back. Careful about Shadowrun lore, Lord Brown Bear. That setting is... that setting does not pull its punches, shall we say, about anything. I kind of want to play Shadowrun Hong Kong at some point, because that is the only one of the 3 I have not finished, because there's the 3 video games. You've got Shadowrun Returns, Shadowrun Dragonfall, and Shadowrun Hong Kong. I've played the first 2 and beaten them, but I have not beaten Hong Kong yet. Maybe that's another one I should do on stream. It's a good setting. It's a very interesting setting and world building. My favorite was when a dragon got elected president of the United States, got assassinated, and then his will basically destroyed the international order because he revealed so many secrets to people. And basically at the top of his will, it was like, I knew you fuckers were going to try and kill me. And if you succeeded, congratulations. I'm about to throw a wrench into everybody's fucking plans. Ugh. I love Shadowrun. Like, I have not played Shadowrun. I've just read it, but some of its lore is amazing.
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen, jump out. They look at the container, despondently. CSM is written on their backs.
Sure it hasn't happened IRL, a greedy orange dragon? No, because in Shadowrun, the US already got divided in two, and then the northern half annexed Canada. So we haven't reached that part yet. So it's so over the top, but its tone is darker than Cyberpunk, despite being so silly on paper. That's a good way to put it, Lord Brown Bear. Shadowrun has a veneer of silliness. The second you push past it, you realize just how fucking dark as a universe it is. CSM, the Chaos Space Marines. No, apparently they're something, CS Municipal, because they're the trash company. He's pushing for it. Well, that's the funny thing, Tenwin. It's the South that secedes in the Shadowrun timeline. The North then becomes the, what is it? The USCAS, the United States of Canada and American States, or something like that. They add the Canadian Canadian maple leaf to a version of the US flag, and that's what happens. The West Coast also secedes, but they form a quasi-ethno-nationalist Native American state that then splits into two. Native Americans who are fine with non-Native Americans living on their land, and Native Americans who kill anyone who's a non-Native American living on their land. So, you know, one becomes blood and soil nationalism light, and the other becomes, well, straight-up ethno-nationalist fascists. It's a fun setting, as I said. Putting a leaf on the flag spits. Yeah, I know, Lord Bramber.
Thank you anyway.
No, we're not going to accuse him of putting it in there in a fugue state. All right, we have something else. We've got something here in the Whirling Guard. I need to talk to you about it.
What thing?
So, first off, the mess hall is apparently reserved for the Union?
Yes, not the whole damn Union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction.
He tosses his head in disdain.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
He gives you a meaningful nod. How do we find them?
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even men on strike.
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Huh.
So if it's after 1600 and the sign said reserve starting 1600, why wasn't anyone in the mess hall?
Good question.
He turns
They're
to the
probably
cafeteria.
getting drunk or protesting something somewhere. Or laying low after the, lynching.
Why?
They probably fucking killed that guy or something, and that's why.
I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later.
There's also that blue steel door in your kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Then what's behind it?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
There's something else I want to ask.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
I don't think we have anything else. We don't have the money yet. We're not drinking any alcohol, and I'm not going to be singing karaoke. Or I will be singing karaoke, but we don't need to be telling him that. What else do we have around here? Got that dude. We got the priest. We do have the... I think we said it was a pawn shop down here. There we go. Ooh, more free experience. What do we got? Some kind of machine, an antique cash register. Dude's literally just standing in a booth. Bust of a woman. The plaque simply reads DEI. In the dark, a film projector is whirling away. Mostly military wear with a few more eccentric fashions thrown in. Okay.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
This game would be canceled if released nowadays. I mean, to be fair, there were already people on... I distinctly remember when this game came out, Tenwin, there were unironic communists claiming it was a defense of communism and that any dialogue in here making fun of communism was bad. And I saw unironic far right-wingers going on about how this game is an apologism for communism. How dare it fucking exist? So, like, it's not like this game didn't have people talking bullshit one way or the other.
What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Well, sorry for interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately, RCM or otherwise.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored.
What I see the game is more or less a personality test for political views. More like it baits you into, like, it wants people to be like, well, I kind of agree with that. And then the game's writing goes off the rails to be like, well, here's what happens when people don't moderate their views regarding those things. And I just choked on my own spit. Okay, wasn't expecting that. Oh, my apologies. Oh, continue.
As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
The business plan is all over the place. No, quite the collection.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of lights and shadow on the walls behind you. Have you decided the search will only be on Tuesdays or more spread out through the weeks? I haven't decided yet, Tenwin, I'll be honest. Like, I really do want to play it, but I also was really looking forward to playing Disco Elysium. I am now in the unenviable position of I want to play both of these right now.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
There's something I'd like to sell. Access the pawn menu.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
We want to keep that. We have the ammonia. We have that, so we can pawn off the street. It's not much, but... well, I guess that's it.
Another time, perhaps.
You know anything about the traffic menace on the loose? Oh, right, we're inside the store where the sign was hung up, so
Traffic?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive.
But didn't you hear it when the traffic menace drove over your roof?
Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of powerful electric vortex hitting the shop, and then moving on.
Why not split Sunday in half with both games? That could be an idea. Maybe we'll just do Disco Elysium. Maybe we'll alternate Sundays. One Sunday we can do 6 hours of Disco Elysium, and another Sunday we can do 6 hours of The Surge to really get some progress in it. Something like that. And maybe on the weeks when it's not, when I'm not doing The Surge on the Sunday, I'll do like a Friday stream with The Surge instead. Just something to change it up a little.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
So you don't have any idea who the driver is?
He shakes his head, slowly.
So, do you happen to have any guns, say, ones carried by officers of the Citizens Militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Oh, fuck. We actually did pawn it.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
I sold you my gun.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Kim just slowly turns his head. I mean, he already knew we lost it, but now we know, now we're getting more context.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off-the-charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
I don't suppose the buyer was a policeman?
She didn't seem like a policeman. Although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Did that forehead bitch buy it? No, I don't think so, only because she kept referring to herself as a pig. I don't think Cindy would fake being a cop and then also refer to herself as a pig in the process of buying it. Now, does Cindy perhaps know who might have bought it? If we could get a description, probably. But I don't think she was the one who actually bought it.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
I don't like it either, Kim. She's probably going to commit a crime and then blame it on the militia.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
Do you have any idea where I could find this person?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
At least I know how I lost my gun. Let's talk about something else. No, we're good on that. Might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Do you know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
Okay.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
I guess we could try to determine if he's high on something. He certainly seems like it. All right, give it a shot.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Hanging is more like a step before butchering, to be fair. It depends on how much they beat him beforehand, Lord Brownbear. Parolidon. What is that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Sir, could you take off your sunglasses for a second? I need to look at your eyes.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them.
He staggers away from the glass slightly, but quickly recomposes himself.
Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
What's with the triangles on the vest?
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster.
He coughs as if to mark his words.
Had to take Parolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
The People's Pile, what was that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you, too.
Oh, they bootstrapped a nuclear fission generator. I am both simultaneously immensely impressed and also horrified. So this emergency relief brigade, I'm assuming they had to go in and clean everything up.
We were an all-volunteer force. Self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
He points to the white triangles on his orange safety jacket.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
He looks at the spiraling light and stops speaking. That must have been tough. Radioactive cleanup and all that.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. And why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment. And early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Does anyone know what caused the generator to fail?
No one's. Everyone's.
He sighs, shakes his head.
So much bitterness.
Oh, okay, yeah. Something tells me the finger-pointing game that went on while he was trying to save people's lives was probably not something that he likes to remember.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
And how'd you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
I mean, yeah. Oh, don't go to that place. It's a shithole. My brother in Christ, I just spent the last 5 years cleaning up nuclear waste in my backyard. Shut the fuck up. Well, thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
No, we're not asking him for drugs. And he's got some things in here.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
He's not totally unaware. Maybe he has a dependence. I mean, it's probable. One of the dialogue things said he's taking it for mental and emotional pain, not physical. So, like, he seems to have cleansed his system of most of the radiation poisoning, but he's still taking it because it helps him cope with everything else in his life. Look at the street light.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
What living room? We don't have a living room. Is that a street light?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
Where'd you get it?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property.
He leans in so the pawnbroker doesn't
You
hear
have
him.
to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
He pauses, studying the light. How much for it?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
I mean, 700 sounds about right. I can't imagine it was easy getting that street lamp off the streets.
Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get to buy and sell something so extraordinary.
I mean, I have no money, so that's not going to happen.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One
the tip of your
especially
toes.
catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says, Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Could this device help my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
And this Stereo 8 machine?
Is the Harman Welsh W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
And you're sure it's in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though I don't really like music.
Maybe in the future, because it's not like we have any tapes to play now. trinkets
You
here.
see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets
Miniatures.
displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Win her back.
Yes, buy something nice. A figurine.
Look at the knights on
Big
horseback.
men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Sounds like dragoons. Who are they?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
He looks at the dusty figurines in the dim light.
A long, long time ago.
Look at the blue
They're not all
uniforms.
blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Sounds like World War I, like early World War I era kind of style figures. Are those royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
Inspect the figurines.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Kim was a knight boy. Yeah, I mean, come on. We've all been there when you're younger. Who doesn't like knights and samurai, cowboys, all that shit? Personally, I was always partial to Roman legionaries myself. Are those even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
Here we go again with the 4 political options. It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it. The contrast is meant to be disheartening, as it ought to be. It is impossible to win against the cohorts of capital. Ask my friend Gart, whose bitch it made me. I wish it was more nuanced. As it stands, I cannot comment. I don't know. Even communist revolutionaries, I can at least give the point that the idea is that even the common person can rise up and fight. I read Aragon and played Dragon Age back in the day. Oh yeah, always good ones. More into dragons. I mean, dragons and knights still work within the same threshold. 10 win.
Maybe.
See if we can find a really good figure.
Why?
Hey.
What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What's this?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head.
He points at the decapitated figurine.
50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
Ah, fuck it. 50 cents. We can do that.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
The plastic headless fallen rider sits atop his equally plastic bull, his posture indicating either desperation or pride. Comes with a set of the infamous fallen cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. I mean, maybe it will. Who knows? Maybe it'll add a bonus to some of our rolls at some point. I guess we kind of have to try and go get the body down, don't we? Apologies. Let's go see if we can do it. Do I have to use the ammonia or do just having it? I think just having it helps. All right. Oh. Ladders for kids. It will not hold the weight of a grown man. How close are we to level up? We are still a ways off. We do have a skill point saved.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Oh, I only got a +1 from the ammonia. This isn't going to help.
The ammonia
No.
only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You managed to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Well, that's twice now we've thrown up. Thanks, game. God, the ammonia didn't help at all.
Nor does the wind right now.
You feel the lieutenant pat your back
The
rhythmically.
weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
Why in the hell can I not keep it in if I've been a cop my whole life?
I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate. Throw up, initial autopsy. Throw up, bag it.
He pats your back again.
Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough.
You seem to be fine.
I think I've lost my sense of smell. Not being hungover helps too.
You're gonna have to do this part without me. I just can't
No.
keep it down.
This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help.
He withdraws his hand and looks you in the
You
eye.
need to get your shit together.
Okay.
We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your...
Give it half
we
an
know
hour.
that.
Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
So we have to... Shit. I mean, this hasn't really helped us that much. Forget thought for 1 point. Oh, fuck. We have to pay points to get rid of them? Shit. Then there's no point. I may as well unlock a slot then, because that'll at least... Oh, fuck. Ugh. Shit balls. Your shit is apart. It's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together, compressed in a small area to achieve a solid level of shit compression. Squeeze your buttocks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with the 2 hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that'll help. Fuck. I'm gonna have to use a skill point for that and then internalize it. Fuck me. Also, that artwork. What in the goddamn hell is that? Okay, well... Oh, I completely forgot to re-equip. Where is it? No. I want... There we go. The crowbar and the bag. So that way if we find any tear. It was only in the... Hold on. It's the volume... Oh, now it's different. What the fuck? It changes. It was like a zoom in of this particular part of it, which looks like a fetus with like shit coming out of its ass. I don't know. It's disgusting looking is what it is. I don't know if what else we've got to do right now. Hangman is legendary. Backyard wall is an impossible conceptualization. The broken windows in our room. The mirror is an encyclopedia check. Challenging physical instrument check. See, Lang is a rhetoric check. I guess... Well, we have, what, 30 minutes we need for this thing to finish? I think we can... No, we don't have anything there. Maybe we can go talk to Joyce for a bit? Oh, how about you guys? What's up?
Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
He covers his mouth to hide a burp.
I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to Angry Hard René first.
Oh, okay. Hello, you must be René.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
Fork? A man with a fork in a world of soup. I like that description.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
I always like to imagine that whenever one of these skills perks up to talk, that the others are desperately trying to grab him and force him back down to be like, no, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shouldn't I at least ask what the game is?
No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Grab the ball and show him how it's done. 92% chance. What do we do? I don't know what we're doing. Oh God, what have we done? Oh.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter. You'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time has frozen.
Feel the ball.
The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it. Probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already, your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready.
Take in the surround.
A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball.
There is a time for a last glance inward. Who am I?
An embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency. Some would still say you're a cop, but I guess we're beyond that now.
The inertia can be contained no more, like a bullet leaving a gun. Let go, be the bullet, be the ball. What am I doing? Oh God, he's into the water. I don't think they're gonna appreciate that.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
The old soldier yells in outrage.
It wasn't mid. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24 and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
What the hell is your problem? I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
Wait, what?
You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
Pétanque?
Yes, pétanque. You ruined our pétanque game. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Was that a success? That was a success at making ourselves look like an absolute jackass. Correct.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull.
The heel of his cavalry boot slams into the ground. Okay, I'll try to fix this.
Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Do either of you know anything about the man who was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling Nag?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals...
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with the cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
But you don't know any.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
Ah, yes. I have reached the age of not giving a fuck. I understand, Renee. Believe me. I get it. I have seen similar things. At least angry Renee isn't unfair Renee. No, he's just angry Renee. And you seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
I'm assuming it has something to do with all the bullet holes I've been seeing around here?
Yes. It was left by heavy artillery fire.
Okay. Crater left by artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Did you use heavy artillery against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
Avowed is confirmed 7th best-selling game of February 2025. I mean, that sounds nice, Tenwin, I'll admit, but I'd have to see the rest of the data because February is notoriously not a... Like, the January through about April timeframe of the beginning of the year is usually not a very busy season for video games. So I'd have to actually see the numbers. Still, I mean, if they're reporting on it, it must be at least somewhat positive. Though, it depends. Wait, hold on. Is it someone independent talking about this, or is it Microsoft talking about this? Because if it's Microsoft, it could mean jack shit. If it's somebody else, okay, that's better. Better than Yakuza, Pirate of Hawaii, GTA 5, Madden, NFL. It is so sad that games are still competing against GTA fucking 5. Jesus fucking Christ. Let the game die. You're already working on the next one. Let it die. No, it has too many microtransactions. They're never going to let it die. Better than Brown Bear, you forget just how niche the Yakuza series is in the West. Like, it has gained in popularity in recent years, but Yakuza as a series is very niche.
Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
Like, again, Brown Bear, I'm not saying Yakuza isn't an interesting series. I think it's not my type of game. It's just too out there and too steeped in Japanese culture for me to fully understand. But I get why people like it. But at the same time, it is very niche. So why shell here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
I mean, by Yakuza standards, it did, Brown Bear, but that's by Yakuza standards. It also did help. This list includes Monster Hunter Wilds and KCD2, which of course are 1 and 2 on the list. Oh, of course. Yeah, there's no competing with that. Like, Avowed is good, but it's not competing with that culturally. Not a chance. Part of the reason Yakuza Hawaii also blew up slightly, Brown Bear, is because of Kason, because she actually got a role in it, and the VTuber community kind of went wild about the fact that one of their members got a voice acting and in-game appearance credit in Yakuza Hawaii. Sent the list to Lord Brown Bear. Yeah. I'll take a look at it after Stream Time 1.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Deathblow sounds grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
He looks down at the soil.
Blood Ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Hold on, the Coalition?
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Well, I mean, Kingdom Come 1 did very well, Brown Bear, so of course the second one is going to get... Like, let's be honest, it was a bigger cultural impact than Pillars of Eternity did, and there are some people who still don't even understand that Pillars is in the same universe as Avowed, or vice versa. That explains all the war damage.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
There's a strange gleam in his eyes.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
A dark shadow runs across his face.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the Coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
He stops mid-sentence and turns to you. The Coalition seems quite capable. Commies just don't understand how money works. Foreign powers cleaned up our mess and now they rule us. That's how it should be. Soft socialists paving the way for hard working class to take over. I mean, From the sound of it, they didn't. They just killed a lot of people. This seems to be objectively true, but I already have a feeling that this is another case of, oh, you picked a moderate option that leans somewhat right-wing. That must mean you're a fascist. Which is how they'll probably fucking present it, because of course they will. This coalition seems quite capable. That's just the neutral liberal answer. Commies don't understand how money works. That's also, I mean, that is true, but to be fair, politicians in general don't understand how money works. Can't remember who said it, but there's a great quote where it's like, the first rule of economics is scarcity. The first rule of politics is forgetting the first rule of economics. Again, if the game tries to give me shit for this, then I'm just gonna tell it to fuck off. Yeah, foreign powers cleaned up our mess and now they rule us.
I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio.
I mean, this is a mix of, you can tell from Renee, this is a mix of old man yells at cloud, but also, I was literally there. We got our asses kicked. Of course I'm angry about this. I watched all of my friends die. It really seems like Revachol is meant to have a French-speaking accent, or at least a good chunk of them.
This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
Okay, but how does that Philippe III factor into this? Point towards the monument.
It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. Ain't got nothing to do with anything.
If you know history, you know that's not true. That was only 100 years ago. It's totally irrelevant. No, trust me, it's usually not, especially when you have to deal with monarchies. It usually means somebody fucked up in the past and they've got, whoever's in charge now has to deal with it. Who was Frissel?
Damn Frissel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
The old veteran falls silent and massages his chest.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
And you mentioned a Guillaume?
A true king in both blood and mind. Led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
And what is the suzerain?
Suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They forgotten already.
He slowly nods and says the last line to himself.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Fifth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
I mean, it's a white check. We can always retry it, so let's give it a shot. We literally need double sixes.
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform.
Damn, we actually rolled really well. Fuck. If we hadn't thrown the ball into the sea, we would have gotten it. Fuck me.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
What about that statue again?
Ah, yes! King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
I mean, on the one hand, Revachol seems to have unironically been the superpower at the time. On the other, Philippe was definitely not a true king, from the sound of everything. So how should a true king rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
It would seem to me that a leader's responsibility is to his people before himself.
A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
I gotta say, I fuck with Rene. He seems like a proud old war dog. As I said, it's that perfect combination of angry old man yells at cloud over things he can't control, but also, I was there, I saw these things happen, I lived in the trenches, I fought and watched people die, like, lived experience, true, actual experience of everything horrible that happened. Like, you can't just dismiss that.
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
There is some weariness in Gaston's voice. He's heard this rant many times.
The Carabinier doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve.
Right.
Well, I guess that's all. Thank you for your time, and I'll work on solving the bull issue. How much longer we got on this? 5 minutes. Okay, good. What is this? Enormous bowls worthy of a real man. We can't talk to anybody on the radio. Do you have anything new?
It's raining again.
The young woman looks up at the overlaid sky.
It was clear just an hour ago.
So, the sign behind you, what's with this fuck the police
Excuse
business?
me?
He doesn't understand.
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
The street sign. It says fuck the police.
Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here.
Alright. I didn't mean to startle you.
Okay.
Alright, well, that was awkward. Congratulations, we have made everything worse. I don't think there was anything else here. That's the Fritz store. These guys are still talking. Oh, we can get an experience point out of this. It says GRIH. Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. Okay. So let me see here. What can we do? Pissing competition. Ask about the audit after the initial inspection of the body, which we can't do yet. We're still working on that. We will not find booze and drink it because we will not. So, yeah, see, it even has it over here. Sorry, Cop 7, Boring Cop 2, Communist 3, Fascist 1, Ultra Liberal 4, Moralist 1, Good Cop, Bad Cop 5. I guess it's not going to tell us which one of those we count as. Honor 0, People Killed 3, so that's going off of the official statistics that we had on our sheet. Cases solved 216, years in service 18. Name unknown, rank unknown. Inspect the body, we're working on that. Pay for damages, we still don't have the money for that. Track down your badge, who put the clothes in the trash. Need to find somebody else. Keep searching for the caller, sing karaoke. Talk to Joyce about reality. Visit apartment 28 sometime after 2100 to see if anyone's home. Track down your gun. Find the secret passage in the whirling. Find out who's in the Union box and replace the lost bowl. How the hell did you get Communist 3? Pretty much anytime you talk about people over systems. So like even
All
that...
around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away.
This event I specifically remember is why I wanted to get Shivers. Because if stuff like this keeps popping up, I really like how it's presented. But in response to your question, Lord Brownbear, it mainly seems to be like that comment I made where it's like, oh, a ruler should have more, it should pay more attention to their citizens than to themselves. I think the game tracks that as communist. As I said, this game is about extremes. You pick an option that seemed like the comment that I made with Renee as well, where I said, wow, we got conquered by foreign powers and now they rule us. That's objectively true. The coalition is in charge. Kim even said as much when he's like, yeah, technically we're not even really the full police force. The coalition's in charge. We just kind of handle all the stuff that falls through the cracks. That's an objective truth. And yet the game still labels it as fascist. So like, again, the game is trying to push your buttons with some of these decisions, as well as to make your character seem deranged. Like, that's just what happens.
The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting.
What am I doing?
Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hat.
Well, I don't have a hat, but what do I see? Well, I guess I have the beanie on, I suppose.
Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
How does it feel?
Your shirt sticks to your chest. The shoulders of your disco blazer grow heavy. The cold finds its way in under your skin. You shiver, and the city shivers with you.
See, I also just like this because once you zoom out this far, I don't know why. This feels like a painting. This actually feels like a painting. You've got the water, you've got the edges of the old pier, you've got the courtyard, you've got the bombed out building, you've got the new construction of the Whirling in Rags, you've got the road, you've got the cracks in the road, you've got the shanty town practically building down here, you've got C. Lang and his little shop down here. It just feels... This feels hand-painted. This feels handcrafted.
You're not dressed for this weather. You should get an overcoat or a patrol cloak.
I see it, yeah. Hand-painted seems to be the game's preferred art style. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What's in the west?
Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinaise, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky.
Who are those ghosts?
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there?
Will I?
No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinaise every day.
And what's down the shore?
Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs. Cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction. A defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water.
And beyond that?
Coal City, end of all lines.
Run your fingers through your hair.
Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance.
What's to the north?
Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in their war-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play.
And closer to here?
A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Coal leaks into a puddle beneath a dead man's feet. He swings from a tree, bloated. Droplets of rain slip from his cold cheeks.
What about the east?
There's a fleet on the corner. A plastic coat is folded into a small triangle under the counter by the window. Beyond that, the strikebreakers have gathered. The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide.
Clench your teeth. Stop the shudder.
Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers, slick with rain. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor is an artificial mountain range. Immense wealth resides within, and immeasurable poverty in its shadow.
Before that?
You, on the Martinaise Plaza, a small dot looking up at the sky. Droplets form on your eyelashes.
And I mean, it can't just be me. That I gotta hand it to the writers, that stuff like this, I can visualize in my mind exactly how this appears. Like, strip away the video game as it stands here, and just imagining a washed up detective standing in a light rain, looking up at the sky as water just gently falls on his face and falls down towards the ground. Like, it paints such a visceral and real picture.
La Drusienne, King Dries passenger harbor. Cruise ships flanked by dock arms. Cranes watching over the mouth of the river distributary.
And what's across the distributary?
Couronne, the lower middle class. Distributary after distributary cuts the city blocks in half. 7-story buildings trail off into the rain.
And beyond that?
A silvery curtain of rain over the houses. The class divide.
And what's to the south?
A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised.
What's on the other side?
The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
Where the hood? Where the hood? Where the hood
I
at?
have a brother in the cut. Where the hood at?
Why am I not there?
To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed.
And what am I doing here?
Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland. In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
What's above me?
Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
Motherfucker.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. I'd recommend you put on your coat.
Hello? Why can I not... hello? Why did it... Okay. Hold on. Why can I not save the game? What the fuck? Oh, there we go.
Volumetric ship compressor.
Okay. And perfect timing. Here's the
Bizarre
ad.
scientific news from Revachol West.
I'll let this
today,
play while I go to the
where
restroom
a
real
police
fast.
officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Yeah, now you see what I was talking about, Lord Brown Bear. Now you see what I was saying. The art was zoomed in on this when we initially selected it in the thought cabinet. Yeah, you get it now. Somebody on their art team had way too much fucking fun or way too much goddamn trauma when making these fucking pictures for the thought cabinet. Like, hot damn. All right, ad, finish up. Come on, Twitch. I want to keep going. We still got an hour left to go. We can get more of this done. All right. There we have it. The volumetric sick compressor. All endurance white checks are unlocked. Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. Okay, hopefully that gives me a bonus, though, because otherwise we're going to have problems. All right. Yeah, you're still here, Kuno. Damn it.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Okay, come on. I know it's not a guaranteed thing, but come on. Are you fucking
Again,
kidding me?
The corpse laughs at you, pus dripping from its mouth. You will never be able to hold it in. It's always too much.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Every time it happens, it gets worse and worse. There's nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dryly at the same time.
God damn it. Even though I got my shit compressed, how is this possible?
I'm at a loss as well. I could swear your shit was together, detective.
Sometimes even that is not enough. Life is unfair.
So what do we do now?
Officer, you just need to be stronger. Learn to keep it in long enough for us to work. There's nothing else to do.
You can open this white check again by going to your character sheet and spending a
Relax. It's okay if you don't make it today. The bloated corpse isn't going anywhere.
The corpse is indeed laughing at you, yeah. How far away are we from a level up? We need another 40, and I guess I'm gonna have no choice but to get a higher endurance point. Fuck me. Well, wait. I think I know where we can find some experience. This wasn't there... Aha.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
What is this?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
Come on.
Because there's
Thank
a secret
you.
door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly.
All the
There
panels.
it is. You see a shabby little door.
Okay, that's
What
5
is this
experience.
then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
He peeks inside. I do like that Kim is usually very serious, but then when you actually start uncovering things, he's like, ooh, I want to see where this leads. That is a pig. Cured pig's head. Looks mummified. An empty tube of magnesolam, a magnesium supplement. Poster says, get out of the way or get fucked up. And 40 cents. It was a pig. Yeah. Can't reach that. That's on the opposite side of that. I guess we can head down there and get a couple of experience points from that. Doorway looks like it's going to collapse soon. Ooh, money. Restoration pillars keep the ruins together. Postcard, Grand Curon. The postcard depicts an ill-advised residential area overlooking Jamrock Quarter. 13-story buildings line the hillside like sarcophagi, an ominous fog already rising from behind. These are the last boom years. In 39, the project will fail catastrophically, leaving behind an opiate and hepatitis B-infested slum. Okay. How do we... Oh. Alright, we can go up this way. Ah, this gets us on top of the harbor. Nose fed. Money. Thank you. More money. Thank you. Can we get to
Looks
that?
like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
Hey, look, Lieutenant, someone left the cloak behind.
It's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment.
He judges the
You
drop.
could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
You really think this cloak's mine and I should go for
The
it?
cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Exactly are we doing
What
up
are
here?
we doing? We're awfully close to breaking into the industrial harbor. They're bound to have information for us. I thought that was our intention. Or it could be that we are just exploring.
He looks around, wind rustling his hair.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance. Over. That machine is a
didn't mean to do that.
1020 HK.
Volson 1020 HK.
Is it? Qualson makes a lot of heavy equipment, but this is phenomenal, even for them.
He looks at you, impressed.
But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here.
He looks at the sad piece of fabric flapping in the wind. Okay, I know... Hold on. I know for a fact we have... Okay, yeah, that reduces our savoir-faire, so we're going to put the other shoes on real fast. This also causes problems with savoir-faire, so we're going to swap it for the jeans. Do I have anything that raises savoir-faire? No, but I can put on the glasses. Plus one to conceptualization, suggestion, electrochemistry, physical instrument. Okay. Oh.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet?
I mean, beautiful things do make people happy.
Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Crafting your style, draping your flesh in silken leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal. Ultra-liberal.
Okay.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something. Soft, yet crinkly.
Okay, so we're gonna have to start equipping everything just to see if there's dialogue.
Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something...
Oh, shit. I need to stop doing that. I clicked accidentally. I mean, we can try that in a moment. I was wondering why it was so low. Yeah, our savoir-faire takes a hit from a lot of the items that we had equipped.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught
it's
on the
still
railing.
pretty bad.
No one has claimed it for their own.
Come on. Oh, yes, we got it.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
Oh, we got so lucky. We got it exactly. 12 verse 12. Nice. Close your eyes. Let your senses take in the world around you.
Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below.
Surely there's a safer way to descend 2 meters. Obviously, our character disagrees, Lord Brownbear.
Martinez goes about its daily routine as you soar through the air. The loud voices of protesters mix with the engine sounds from the traffic jam. Waves crash against the pier, and dense, salty sea air fills your lungs.
Don't let go of the moment just yet.
The corpse is dominating the yard, and the stench is nauseating. Even so far from the epicenter, it brings tears to your eyes.
Even up here, I can't escape that goddamn corpse. Continue the voyage through the salty air. Oof.
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive. Alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
So in other words, Kim was definitely thinking that we would just drop down like a normal person and not take a running, flying leap.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
RCM Patrol Cloak, +1 to Esprit de Corps, +1 to Shivers. Taking back the streets, know thy neighborhood. This police cloak is made from a heavy tarpaulin and would be nigh wind and waterproof if it weren't for the 3 bullet holes scattered across it. The signature white rectangles of the RCM cover the garment's back. Well, while we're at it, I'm just going to go ahead and equip anything else that we haven't worn yet real fast. Nope, none of that's triggering anything. Okay. So we're going to go back to our standard shirt, our yellow gardening gloves, our RCM patrol jacket, and our snakeskin shoes and flare cut trousers. So now we have the proper RCM overcoat rather than just our disco ass blazer. Though to be fair, it's a straight upgrade because the disco ass blazer is just +1 to Esprit de Corps, whereas the RCM patrol cloak has both Esprit de Corps and Shivers. Nice. All right, what the hell's up here? Okay, so that allows us to get into the... That allows us to actually get into the harbor. Oh, hello. No, no, Kim, you're standing in the way. I need to pick up all these bottles. There's a lot of them. Yeah. Pretty much the skills you went for. As I said, Lord Brown Bear, I remember a little bit of what happens in the beginning, and I remember really liking both Esprit de Corps and Shivers. At least 3 packs worth of cigarette butts, numerous empty bottles of Commodore Red, and potent Pilsner. I mean, I'll take it. Money is money. That looks to be everything. And what's this?
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
Oh, so that's Renee.
Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
It's a failure, though. I think we might need to ignore volition here. So this is where Renee works. I'm going to look around.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that picture of René?
I'm gonna ask him about
You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure. As long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
Okay, fine. We'll do what volition
The
suggests.
chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
Breathe deep.
Stale air floods through your nostrils. Not a single mote of dust floats inside your lungs, though. The inside of the booth is immaculate.
Search around a
The
little bit.
drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date.
Read the side
Oh boy,
effects. Oh,
where
look.
to start? Elevated risk of dementia, mini strokes, Prophet's disease, sudden death.
Never
hair
read
death,
the fine print.
Erectile malfunction.
Oh, God.
Critical flatulence, watery blood, black mucus, uncontrollable weeping, increased sensitivity to La Opera, inoperable joint disorder, total spinal collapse.
Jesus Christ.
Don't think about that. Quick, think about something else.
Disco, mirror balls, kick-ass moves. Oh my God, I went up to a woman and actually said, I want to have fuck with you earlier. What the hell is wrong with me? I hope I'm not fucking Renee over by taking his painkillers. I don't see what the big deal is. This sounds pretty normal. I am scared I will never be held or loved in this world again. Me too, buddy. Me too. Wait, malfunction? Yes, erectile malfunction. I'm a cop. I've got cop things to do. Murders to solve. Okay, fine, Lord Brownbear. I went up to a woman and actually said, I want to have fuck with you. What the hell is wrong with me?
Maybe this was a bad idea.
We're gonna get up.
You stand and...
All right. Nothing we can do there. Physical instrument is his own thing. Picture of a happy couple. Revachol Fair, summer of 91. So the previous century. So like almost 60 years ago. Interact with the apricot chewing gum wrapper.
A crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads, Tutti Frutti. It smells faintly of apricots, with a barely noticeable twinge of cinnamon.
So why do I care about this?
Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper. Yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with the Tutti Frutti wrapper. Throw it away, please.
Well, I'll hang on to
You
it. just in
carefully
case.
fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket, lovingly even, despite the strange feeling of regret.
Okay, so obviously that'll show up later. Nothing else that we really need there. Tools don't cover anything. So we need to... There was the door back over here that we need to get access to. I don't know. All around you, great machines in quiescence. Ugh. Collecting rainwater. Makes sense. Can we get in through here? And will that allow us to actually get out of here without having to go through the entirety of the... Oh. Radio's emitting strange buzzing sounds. What is...
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
Well, unfortunately, we don't know anybody's number, so we're not going to waste money on this just yet. Hello. La Fumée, Volume 1, Number 4. The leading intellectual organ of Martinez communism, offering a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Frisell with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Frisell. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why Frisell?
Because Frisell was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow.
Not
it's
surprising.
Satire, you see.
Flip through the pages. Let's see what anything is in here.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Read the editor's note. Catch up on international developments. What is Kunst und Kultur? Let's see what they mean by local concern. Let's start with the editor's note.
As you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, "Du cristal à la fumée." This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
Please donate to our Patreon, basically.
Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Kim actually sounded a little bit annoyed with me there. All right, let's look at the international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
EPIS nations.
You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Mesk-Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd.
I hope he's not forgetting that you're an amnesiac. To be fair, Lord Brownbear, Kim has made it his level best to just ignore that we're an amnesiac for the most part. Kim is a consummate professional, and he wishes that we would get our shit together.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that.
All right, we can see what the bear wrestling is about, reaction speed.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kanajinsky himself.
Question how healthy that approach is from Kim. I mean, on the one hand, you're probably right, Tenwin. On the other, he doesn't really have a choice in the matter. He's stuck with us and we're stuck with him, and he'd much rather treat this as just another case than have to deal with our, quite frankly, potential hysterics. Also, bear wrestling as a public fitness initiative.
According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV.
Hold on. Uncle Sport?
Based on the description in this article, He appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected president.
I mean, if the communists are writing it that way, either they really can't find anything wrong with him, or he's a total jackass who supports their ideology. One or the other.
It's quite straightforward. A standard match features one man, or in some cases, woman, against one bear. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation.
Okay, so either the people of Samara are just built different, or the amount of people dead by bear's claw lacerations is going to be going up fairly shortly.
According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively.
So did they send the obese and the alcoholics in first so that they could get rid of them? Propaganda, no way they could take a bear in a wrestling match. Well, maybe if it's a black bear. I don't know, brown bear. I mean, why don't you tell me? Don't you have family members who'd be in on this? I'm sure you've got a couple of relatives, provided there's any left after what happened in Avowed, who would be willing to speak on the matter. Like, seriously, youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12 and 7% respectively. So they just fed the obese people and the alcoholics to the bears, basically.
This is the SRV we're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in La Chette.
Me, I take a bribe to take fall. Oh, that makes sense. His family is mostly in Avowed and 1 in Zenless Zone 0. Oh, right. There is a bear character in ZZZ, isn't there? I'm not sure I trust these numbers.
What are you, a statistician? Did the moral intern send you on a fact-finding mission? This is the SRV party line, comrade.
Okay, so yeah, they're straight. They're very much yeah. They're the only reason they said that he was a good and democratic leader is because he's a communist sympathizer of some kind. Kim, do you think there's any chance that we'll go to the SRV?
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask?
I'm going to type Zenless Zone 0 Bear 10 win. If I don't like what I see, you're in trouble. If I remember correctly, it's literally just a giant bear gangster, Lord Brown Bear, if I recall correctly. The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask? No reason.
You know, not too long ago, I listened to a fascinating radio program on traditional Samaran folk dances. The costumes they wear are supposed to be extraordinary. In any event, no, I haven't seen any evidence there's a Samaran angle to this case.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, no, I've seen it. It's got that kind of ridiculous cool quality to it.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Kunst und Kultur.
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Okay, that makes sense.
Why they decided to title this one section in Valda is beyond you.
Okay, so Valder must be this universe's equivalent of like German adjacent or Northern European adjacent, because that's the only way I could see them getting that kind of spelling for it.
It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand.
Oh, okay, so that's what else they're trying to be chic or something. That's what else Esprit de Corps is used for. It's not just that you're connected to cops, it also helps you understand when other people form like in-groups. Okay, so this will have more uses. Good.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS.
Cindy the Skull, maybe?
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Yeah, that sounds like Cindy, all right. At least she hates the academic communists as much as we do. That's good. What the hell is Tip Top Tournée?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details. But after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
Okay, well, what do the communists have to say about street racing?
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
Oh, great. Of course, it's a communist magazine. What was I thinking? What's wrong with the tourney?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
Hang on. Who wrote this?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka.
That second name sounds completely made up.
There's no way those are real names.
Why aren't they real names?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity.
I love how you're arguing with your own skills sometimes. That's why I said don't think of them strictly as skills. Think of them almost as party members.
Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter.
Okay, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence. No, I'm pretty sure I like it because it's racing.
Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave.
I mean, I guess I never thought about it like that because it's dumb.
That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
I hate it when people tell you what you think. Yes, trust me, Bramber, there has never been a time in my life more than I have been angry when people sit there and try to tell me how I feel about something. And no, I'm not even going to get into that. That would be bringing up politics and personal information that y'all don't need to know about. But suffice it to say, yes, I fully understand what you're saying. Hey, Kim, this article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tourney for the races.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind?
No, but it sure seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
Thank you, Kim.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's see what they mean by local
Unsurprisingly,
concerns.
much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Oh, here we go again. Damn communists should have killed a lot of them when they had the chance. If it weren't for Wild Pines, all these moochers would be out of a job. Charging rent just to live somewhere is outrageous. Wouldn't it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some kind of reasonable accommodation? Why should I care? This doesn't have anything to do with me. Part of me wants to go the boring cop route just because fuck all of this. The game wants to put me in a box, and I don't want to be in the box. I don't like the box. The box sucks.
The eternal problem, according to G. Martin, is that under capitalism, the worker is rendered incapable of perceiving their own agency or lack thereof. Thus, they tend to experience their own oppression as though it were happening to somebody else. Is that true? Have you felt estranged from your own self recently?
I mean, yes, Inland Empire, you're constantly reminding me about that, but that doesn't mean the communists are right about it.
You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Okay, put it away. Whew, we spent a long time there. Standard office file cabinet. The drawers are locked. Can we break it open?
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks.
Open the drawer.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Browse through the
hundreds of documents containing logistical data. 2 kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
All right, anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
All right, slightly better than a coin flip odds. Let's go.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Oh, we even got a critical success. We rolled double boxcars. Nice. Look at the note.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners.
Special whirling borscht. So they're doing something in the kitchen.
All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Him. We got a to-do list with a list of errands for Everard.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs? Booze? Blood? Remember, Leo, all items on the list, the drawer.
Okay, so that's all that. Dewey typewriter, model numbers on the back. Every worker, a member of the board, is written on top of the flyers. At the bottom, the union logo and demand democracy. Someone left the coffee machine on. The dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. Oh god, that is some thick-ass coffee. We have a postcard, Le Jardin 21. Laminated postcard offers a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, the eastern bank is already fully renovated. The hillsides are lush with gardens and residences, and someone's parked a small beige airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. Alright, what's in here? Hey! +1 to visual calculus, -1 to drama. I think that's actually better than the ones we have. We have the +1 to logic, -1 to authority. Oh yeah, that looks more detective-like. Eye of the Reckoner, a bit dry. These were stuffed away in the Dockworkers Union office. They're perfect for scribbling down paperwork when the sun tries to get in your eyes. Good for staring down suspects, too. Nice. And some magnesium. Can we get out of here? Ooh, the door is locked and cannot be opened for this side without a pass card. Guess you have no choice now but to talk to the union leader. Oh, that's not good. We can't get out of here without... Oh, dear.
Yes?
No. We're trying to leave. I'm trying to click on the... There we go. And it is now nighttime out here, so I have no idea what's going to be going on. Oh god, I think we have to go talk to Everard regardless of what else happens. At least we bypassed Measurehead. The composite eye of halogen lights watches you, emitting a low buzz. White pine trees are printed on the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. How close are we to leveling up? Oh, sweet. We're almost leveled up. Nice. Okay, so we gotta walk. What is this?
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Marche. On. Arrête. Off. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Is it gonna do something? Oh, there we go. Slowly, 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 and... There we go. Why does that feel like it's about to fall? Okay. Are you gonna let me go? There we go.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. And now it will rest.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
The crane does not return to its original.
Okay. What is this? Oh, we gotta go all the way up. Come on, walk faster. Hey, money. Still not enough to pay off our debt, though. See faded industrial letterings on the platform. Falsun. The fuck is this?
Before you stands a cargo container. Just one of many in the yard.
Lieutenant, I think there's something about this container.
Is this like your thing with that wall again?
Maybe. Can't tell. We should investigate further.
Because I don't.
Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
I don't know. It just feels something.
It's a cargo container, detective. Just like all the others.
He doesn't even look at it.
We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
No reply. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
Why am I using rhetoric? I mean, hold on. What do I have that's reducing rhetoric? The hat? I mean, I don't think we can help it anyways, but... Composure, savoir-faire, interfacing, Inland Empire, physical instrument. I don't think we have anything else that affects rhetoric. No. We just had to take the hat off.
You're back before the cargo.
Yeah, it's still a 3. Oh god, because the check is for 18.
Since you were last here.
So the only way we win is with double boxcars.
Slightly. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Yeah, why am I?
Why are you what?
Why are you what? The lieutenant looks startled. Anything at all?
Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours.
Alright. Oh. Shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. There we go. We now have... We kind of have no choice but to put it on endurance now. Okay, there we go. Accept the changes and close. But we can't get out of here without talking to whoever's in charge. Speaker tower is silent. There's no work to organize in the yard below. Oh. The musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. It smells like blood. Hey! Fallen Ultra Series gloves. +1 to half-life. Nice. Unfiltered contact. Ultimate performance efficiency. These Fallen Ultra Series gloves come fingerless and with a grippy padding covering the palms, making them ideal for quadruple movement or for lifting cargo. I think +1 interfacing is still going to do us better right now. Also, I need to put the hat back on. The shitty hat, I should say. Let's see here. Take that. Industrial sized thermos smells like burnt coffee. Some more money. Oh, hi. What are you doing up there? Banner sags under the weight of rain and snow. White waves on red. Container, container, container.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
Tiny man is so engaged in his work, he doesn't even notice you. Hello?
Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
A shadow passes over his otherwise kind face. What is it with you people in scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're from Ubi, right?
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Arish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Oh, so he's fantasy Welsh / Scottish.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
He waves at the containers towering behind him. What's going on here? Ooh, red check. Can't be retried. Come on.
The containers
yes.
in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
Odd that he offered that without prompting. I mean, to be fair, historically, if I recall correctly, the Welsh have had to deal with this in our timelines and worlds. The Welsh have had to deal with this accusation for a while, and it all stems from the fact that the punishment for intercourse with a sheep was less than the punishment for stealing a sheep. So it was common for sheep thieves to claim that they were trying to have sexual relations with the animal in order to get out of a worse punishment, because sheep raising was so vital to the Welsh economy and people that stealing a sheep was seen as a near capital level offense. Whereas intercourse with a sheep was just fucking weird. You still got hit with a fine, but it was better than, you know, being killed. That looks like one hell of a redecorating operation, Kim.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
And Leo, has anyone told you why you're changing the colors?
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
Well, thank you, Leo. You've been very helpful.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
So where is everyone else then?
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in.
He leans in with a confidential look.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate.
He pauses to think.
But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
He stops, but seems eager to tell you more. Really? What kind of trouble did this Titus get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
He smiles and leans closer.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Really? Did they kill someone?
No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little drinking.
Okay, so I think we know who's in charge of enforcement around here. So you work here?
Yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo.
The little man raises his hand in a welcoming gesture.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Bell end when he said Bellick. Yeah, it kind of sounds like that.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
The lieutenant looks up.
A real pretty lady with a skin like those douce sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Wait, this Miss Beaufort you mentioned, who is that?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
Okay, so the union has a lawyer on tap who they personally trained, so obviously they're going to vouch for them in everything they do.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
So Everard trained a lawyer named Miss Buford. Interesting.
Well, I think you're doing a great job around here, Leo.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
The lieutenant smiles at the man.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really.
You didn't think it was possible, but the smile becomes even wider.
Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are all right.
Are you the same Leo who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What about the board?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dogfighters. Alcohol, however.
What do you mean by taking the soup to the men? Is it for the strike?
Yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
And who makes it at the whirling?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Well, looks like the borscht is spiked. We'll need to look into that.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that, yeah?
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
So what's in the container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Well, I'm looking for the leader of the union.
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood.
He coughs, then continues immediately.
Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Easy, Leo. Just let me know where I can find the man.
Oh, Mr. Everard is usually in his office, of course. But you gotta be quick if you want to see him. He leaves around 10 p.m.
All right, I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
Well, shit, we don't got much of a time then. Let's go. Lots of red. Coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. Stair of pallets made leading up. And there is our Mr. Everard. Big dude. The big desk. Taxidermy fish that tells time. Ah.
Before you is the walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you.
I love how everybody else, there's a little bit of a discrepancy between their portrait and, like, the game, like, graphics, just because the graphics are kind of, you know, they're not meant for fidelity. His is 1-to-1.
With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Are you in charge of the dock?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to the tiny chair opposite of his desk.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez.
This man sounds slimy as fuck. I think he's the first one to call you by name. He is. The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you, and then at the chair.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
And why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Ah, the troll in the chair. I mean, ogre might be a more fitting term given his size, but yes. Then again, we like ogres. Ogres in Aor are actually decent people most of the time when they're not trying to eat you. Try to wink back.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It is absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
You know Gart? Yeah, you know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Take the comically large check, but don't say anything. Keep it, I'm good. You can take that comically large check and shove it up your ass. We really do need the money. Unfortunately, it's still not enough to actually cover our fucking debt, but it'll help. But this is just straight up a bribe. Like, let's be honest, this is straight up a bribe. No. Keep it. I'm good.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then.
He crosses his arms on his ample midsection and sinks further into his chair.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun.
He's trying to outcop you. Yep.
The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I'm not worried. I've got this.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Fuck. Side effect spooks. I have no idea what that is. But we're also losing 2 because the chair is killing us. Fuck. Kim? Kim?
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Claire's help with this.
So you're definitely French, or at least French, whatever this equivalent universe's world is of it.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Don't panic. Double box cars, come on!
God,
nope.
You're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, and so what? Men can cry too.
You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. He'll think you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois?
We have to take some or we were entering the danger zone.
What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to a safe
Mr.
place.
Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
And Lord Bramber, even if we are some form of French in this universe, I'm not going to be doing a French accent throughout this entire run. 1, it would sound fucking horrible, and 2, I would probably start to hate it after a while.
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
No, the chair's just uncomfortable. Yeah, sure. Get a glass of water. Sure. Yeah.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Thank you, Kip.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
I'm surprised you're not going to ask me how I got in.
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age...
Enough wackiness. Let's get to business. My body's not going to break down any moment. Probably pushed it to the limit. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool that I've been provided with. A man my age, what are you implying? I'm at the peak of my abilities. Say nothing. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool.
Yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive.
In other words, he saw us take that stupid flying leap off the top of the building.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
And we have our last ad break, which will lead into us... Can I actually save from here? I cannot, so we're going to have to finish this conversation once the ad is done. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to stand up and do some stretching. Be right back. Not going anywhere just yet. Tenwin, Brown Bear, I know you guys don't see the ads, but is the longer ad break with only, a fewer amount of them over the course of it, is that feeling still okay? It also gives me a little more time to do things like refill my water and go to the restroom and all that without having to worry about interrupting the stream when I'm actually doing things. It feels better? Okay. We're going to keep this for a while then. Thankfully, it turned out to be a lot easier to set up. Oh, I think it feels okay. I don't mind the breaks. Yeah, no. I think breaks are important. Like, I know no one likes the ads, but even a person who's streaming occasionally needs to get up and stretch. Okay, so please don't do this just to see if it works, but I am trying to get Monster TTS to work. So if in the future you give bits, I supposedly have it set up, but please don't do that just because I mentioned it. I'm going to feel really bad if it doesn't work. But supposedly I have it set up, same as a lot of other streamers. 100 bits gets you a AI, the default Brian voice or whatever the heck it is. It's supposed to be working, but I have no fucking clue. the test message that I sent still seems to work. The overlay at OBS still seems to work, but I have no idea if Twitch even knows that it exists. I'm still trying to feel my way around that. If you want to try it later on, again, it's minimum 100. I have no fucking clue if it works or not. The test message supposedly worked. I was able to hear it, but I'm still concerned that it doesn't work. And I don't want to say that it definitively works, and then you guys start paying and it doesn't work, because then I'm going to feel like a fucking piece of shit. So, all right, let's keep going. We got to finish up this conversation. I got to get going after this. You called me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everett, I call you Harry.
So that's my name.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It's true. My memory is a... You know what? My memory's fine. Just testing you, Mr. Everett.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently, my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
I don't like the way he said big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
The lieutenant inspects Everett over his spectacles.
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Try to grab a look at the folder.
Everett's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything about you, Harry.
Well, I've got nothing to hide.
Oh, Harry. Oh, wow. This is really something.
He peels into the folder as if it's hard to turn away from the mysteries inside.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that.
Sounded like a euphemism. Yeah, it did, Moatra, it did.
So how about it, Harry? You need assistance, I presume?
Where did you get that folder?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
I don't like any of these options because it just gives him more leverage. We're gonna move on.
Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me.
We need to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's a but.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
I mean, I've opened a few doors in my life.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
I don't believe you. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't come up with a euphemism. No, I just don't believe you. There's nothing shady about it. Bull fucking shit.
The stars aligned into a cosmic frown here. He has your fate decided. Bide your time, however, and let the stars continue their course, and that frown shall turn into a smile. Only if you play along.
And why don't you just open this door yourself, Mr. Everett?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Whose door?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
He removes his glasses and rubs his nose.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
Well, Inland Empire seems to think it's a good idea, so fine, I'll look into it. Now about the murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Okay, I think that we can talk to him about the rest of this later. I've got to get... Yeah, we're already at 3 hours and 10.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great. Wouldn't want to get stuck in here.
You're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
The 15th Indo tribe. Because there was. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Forberg and North Jamrock, running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under rocks, and stealing clothes off clotheslines, and sometimes even the copper wiring of phone lines. You may have been one of them. This must be a childhood memory. The 15th Indo tribe was your Indo tribe, set to rule in Cylinder. The rest of the kids are dead now. Car accidents and drug overdoses. Only you remain.
It's 10 cents for every green orb clicked, and a learning cap of savoir-faire is raised to 6. Okay. So if we ever end up putting points in savoir-faire, that boosted the amount that we can get very high. And hopefully we can find some more green dots that we can get some money out of. We will investigate more with Mr. Evrat later. Let's just get out of here before we save for the day. Come on, all the way back to the office. Because it is 2100 hours, I would like the opportunity to talk with... Oh, wait, what was that? What was that? There we go. Means Whale Fjord in Arden. Okay. Svalsund. I can't pronounce foreign languages. I'm sorry if I butcher them. I make no promises on any of them. I can't even pronounce English half the time. Alright, we should be able to exit through here now. Well, at least we managed to bypass fucking Measurehead. But we're probably gonna have to save here, I'm afraid. There we go. Give me my save here. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for being here. Again, I hope that this is also proving to be interesting. I don't want to feel like I'm preventing you guys from enjoying time with the Surge and whatnot. Again, I want to play it too. Maybe we'll do that on Friday and then do Disco Elysium on Sunday. That might be something we can do. We'll do a nice long session of Disco Elysium on Sunday and do the Surge on Friday. That actually sounds really good. Because I don't think there's anything else. No. And we're pretty much at the end of the first day, so we'll be able to roll through the rest of that. Sounds like a good idea? Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. So we will do that. We will do that. I will see you all on Friday. Let's go see if we can find somebody to raid. Then you have the sequel to continue afterwards. We might take a break between there, Tenwin. We'll see how things go. We will see how things go, okay? That's just yet another game to add to the pile. Add another game to the pile. I'm never getting through my backlog at this rate. I mean, I will eventually. It's just going to take forever and a day. Let's see what we've got here. Got a couple of people. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. I play Avowed, and it gives me a bunch of French and German people to try and raid into. I play Disco Elysium, and suddenly the suggestions are full of people with fucking Cyrillic alphabet in their tags. And I have no fucking clue what's going on. Ugh. Who is on right now? Oh, Lucy Pyre. She is on right now. My Oshi. My original VTuber that I watched. Oh, she's playing Bioshock for the first time. Oh, fuck yes. We're raiding into that, and I'm staying and watching. Blind playthrough of Bioshock? Fuck yes. All right. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining me. Wow, we've got 4 people on the raid. Fuck yes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I will see you on Friday for the Surge and Sunday for the extra long stream for more Disco Elysium. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a glorious day and have a glorious Thursday. I've got my usual stuff that I got to deal with. Have a good one, guys.